Hey friends, how's it going? Welcome to Entrusted to Lead, the podcast where we dig into all the essence and elements of leadership, all those things that help you become the best version of you. So today I want to talk about vision. Vision is something that seems kind of nebulous and a little bit hard to put our hands on, but it's such an important thing when we talk about life or leadership or growing organizations. Doesn't matter. You have to know where you're going. But before you can know where you're going, you have to sometimes take a step back and reflect and see where you've come from. So I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about some of the tools and techniques that I use to help me reframe my mindset, to help me get clarity and confidence in where I'm going, where our teams are going, how I lead myself and others well. So the first thing I want to talk about is reflection. Sometimes life gets super busy. I don't know about you, but it's super busy for me most days. And I have started to schedule this thing on my calendar called Weekly Roundup. So I sit down every Friday, I open up my Google Calendar, and I look back at the week and see, hey, what went well and what didn't go so well. I look at the space, the things that I wanted to get done, things I didn't get done. What did I do that was so great? What maybe would I like to improve on? And what are those things going into next week that I want to take with me? And what are those things that I don't want to carry anymore? And so today, that's just the reminder that life is a journey and that every single day is an adventure and a blessing. But there are some times when we need to really stop on the side of the road and we need to reflect and take inventory and we need to leave some things in the ditch. I recently read a great book by Ken Coleman, and he talks a lot about climbing a mountain. And he used a lot of mountain climber metaphors, talking about how you reach the summit. And the one thing he said is you don't reach the summit carrying everything, right? If you're a mountain climber out there, hats off to you. I have a friend on my team who works and she just climbed a mountain recently, which is amazing, I think. You don't have to be a literal mountain climber to still use the metaphor, right? You reach the summit when you're agile and when your load is light and when you're focused on the end goal. And you get to that place of clarity when you just leave all the things that are unnecessary behind. So this is just a moment, right? This is the lesson for today, that failure is sometimes our greatest teacher. And that's hard, especially when you're in the midst of doing something, when you failed the test, or when you've not completed the mission, or the assignment, or the project, or maybe when you've disappointed your family, or the people that you love, or your friends. Or you just fumbled the ball because, dude, we all fumble balls. That's life. Or maybe if you're like me, you just opened your mouth and some ridiculous thing came out. And now you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, I totally messed that up. I wish I could crawl into this whatever, but alas, you cannot. But that's the moment of life where insecurity and doubt can often be our greatest teacher and a catalyst for change. So I just want to encourage you today to stop and take a break and maybe look around, look back and see some of those places where you failed, where you totally dropped the ball. And one, give yourself some grace. You're human. That's okay. No one's perfect. But take that space and look inside it. First, you got to get past the emotion, get past the embarrassment of it, get past that shaking your head. I can't believe I did XYZ. We all do that. That's fine. And then be brave enough to kind of dig inside that thing, look inside of it, and see what is in it and what lesson can you learn? What gems can you pull from it? What gold can you mine? Because there are lessons there, I promise. It could be your attitude or your behavior. It could be the way you approached the problem or someone else. I don't know. It could be your mindset. But whatever it is, a lack of knowledge, a lack of skill, or 1,000 other things, there's something that you can learn out of each and every day. My encouragement for you today is to remember that failure is our greatest teacher and to look at those things on your list today, see where you're at, see where you've been, and then decide where do you want to go? And ask yourself a very candid question. What can you get rid of? What do you not need to take into next week, next month, or next year? And just give yourself the freedom to breathe, celebrate the wins, grieve your losses because that's a real thing. It's okay to not always get a home run, and then enjoy an amazing weekend, amazing holiday, whatever it is, so that when you get back up the next week, you can knock it out of the park. We'll talk a lot more about vision with me and some of my friends. We'll talk about strategy and all those other big, fuzzy, scary words. But I just want to encourage you today to take a moment to be honest with yourself and realize that every single moment, every single challenge, every single seemingly insignificant failure or frustration is an opportunity for you to learn more about yourself, for you to grow, and for you to take that knowledge and that information and share it with the world. So you can't carry others as a leader if you're carrying the weight of all the other things. I just encourage you today, friend, take inventory, number one, where you can find your lessons, mind those, number two, and then number three, lay things down, make a commitment for change, whatever that is, so you can be clear and you can have confidence as you go into tomorrow. Okay, friend, have an amazing day. Bye.